What's going on everyone, RG here and welcome back to a brand new Sims 4 speed build on the channel, people. Welcome, awesome to have you here again. And today we're gonna build something that I wanted to build the moment that pack dropped into our game. Of course I'm talking about the horse ranch pack. This is what I would like to call Retired Sheriff Jailhouse. So the moment the pack came out, I wanted to create some sort of a house for a retired sheriff that is no longer, he doesn't have any job anymore because it's no longer the Wild West or something like that. And I wanted to build that and create it as accurate as I can to, well, the inspiration for that build came from Red Dead Redemption. So as accurate as I can from that game, which I do believe that when I saw, also play the game, but when I saw an interview with the creators, they said that they went really authentic from like how things looked back then. So this is supposed to be something very realistic, you know what I mean? Back to the era of the Wild West. So this is gonna be basically it's a combination between a residential and a jailhouse for a retired sheriff. Now, of course, the sheriff doesn't have any job anymore, but because you don't need to. However, it does gonna contain like a cellar area, which is gonna be fully functional, people. So for those of you who like to grab some Sims and shove them into a dungeon and close them, you will be able to do that over here. And of course, on the upper floor, you're gonna have a fully functional residential area for 2 Sims. It's gonna be on the brand new map, the Chestnut, I think it's called Chestnut Bridge, the brand new map. I haven't memorized the name of the brand new map. However, it is by far my favorite one. I know that it sounds like I'm switching maps quite too fast, but I don't know. Like the previous favorite map was the one came with growing together. That one with the big bridge. It was my favorite one, and now this one is my favorite one. So I do apologize if I'm jumping way too much between favorite maps. However, yeah, that is gonna be my favorite one. I'm really digging the desert kind of vibe of it. I do think this is based or modeled after Texas. Correct me if I'm wrong, if you're living in the US and you know based on what it is well designed after. I do think it's that place in the United States, and like there are some great canyons over here, something really cool. And yeah, right now you can see me creating some small details about the jail part, let's call it, or the cellars part. That extension on the right side of the house is gonna be the cellars part. So cells part. And yeah, so I want to give the whole build like the feeling this is a kind of an old, crumbling, neglected house, because again, the sheriff does not have a job anymore because no one really needs a sheriff in our time. However, I really wanted to go as authentic as I can based on the inspiration, which I told you came from Red Dead Redemption. If you do not know that game, it is one heck of a cool game. It is an open world. I think it's called like an MMO. No, MMO. It does have an MMO. Also have a single player where you play like an outlaw, bandit, cowboy or something like that. That's how I will describe it. It takes place during the era of the Wild West, and yeah, you can play one of those characters and be like a bad boy of the Wild West. You can do some bad things like robbing trains, robbing places, and in general robbing everything. So so this build is based on that game, and I took the inspiration from that game. But yeah, I really tried to give the authentic feeling of an old build from the Wild West that stayed almost the same from back then to today. But if you think about it logically, there's no chance that this build will exist in real life, because we do talk about, I think, 300 years ago, right? That's about the era. maybe 200 years ago. I'm not really great like at history of the Wild West, but yeah. So this is what we're gonna do today, and I gotta tell you that I had a lot of fun building this. There is even a small, I want to call like the pearl or the spark of this build, the small tiny deed that I added into it. You know, I love adding those to my builds. So I created one cell with a hole in it, like someone tried to dig their way out and they actually managed to, and the like the exit of it is somewhere near around the jailhouse. And yeah, as you can see, I'm using quite a lot of the debug item from this pack, which I gotta tell you, I just love them. And spreading all of those weeds around the main structure is something that I wanted to do in order to try and make it feel like it's not in the middle of nowhere and it's kind of connected to the surrounding area. If you can see, there's a lot of weeds around, and I wanted to somehow make the feel make the feeling of this build is kind of connected to the things around it. It's kind of really hard to do it because I don't know why, but the Sims kind of decided to make the lot itself kind of separated from the things around it. And if you notice, there's like nothing around that specific lot. There are no rocks, there are no weeds. The rocks and the weeds are only starting couples of meters, let's call it, from the edges of the lot. So I had really to work my way around this to kind of let the feeling of this build is part of the surrounding area, and that's why I used quite a lot of those debug items, which I gotta tell you, I'm gonna use them quite a lot in my future builds. And right now you can see me creating the exit hole of the digging area, or the digging part, which I just told you about. Like, one of the cells has a hole in it. This is the exit part where the how do you call them? Convicts? Maybe, I think that's the proper name for them. Will exit at the end after they dig their way out from the cell. Something really, really cool. However, and I really want to let you know that the cellars themselves, the jail pods inside, is actually functional. And I'm using one of the brand new doors came with the pack, combined, and you're gonna see that in a bit, combined with the bars from Get to Work, I believe. And somehow it just fit perfectly, creating really, really dope cells. I think you saw them at the beginning of this video, and I really do hope that you're gonna enjoy play this game. I actually played this build. I actually played it. There we go. Right now you can see me using one of the brand new doors from this pack, and I wanted at first to use those bars, windows, but I don't know, I wanted to feel like a full cell. So right now you can see me using those bar cells or bar doors. I don't know how to describe those, but they came with Get to Work. So you definitely need to have that pack also in your game in order for those cells to look exactly as they are. And I only placed one wall over there where the door itself is standing, and it is fully functional. Sims can go inside. So for those of you who love to do that, yes, you can lure basically people inside and then close the door by restricting the how do you call that? Restricting the access to those cells only to the household, something like that, and the people will stay stuck inside because those bar cells are actually solid. Sims cannot go through them. So yeah, and I wanted really to make the feel like those parts of the like those cells to make feel a bit, you know, nasty, old, neglected. No one really cleans them and stuff. However, I did notice that they do not change the buff of the Sims to uncomfortable or something like that. So that's a big plus in this build. And yeah, so I hope that you're gonna enjoy playing this build. And in a bit, we're gonna jump on to the second floor, where is the living quarter for the sheriff. As I said, this is a build for 2 Sims, and right now we're making the hole where the convict tried to escape from the cell, and I don't know if he managed or didn't manage, that's you gonna tell me. Let me know, in the comment section down below. In your story, the way you're gonna play this, do you think that they managed, or maybe the sheriff caught them at the exit point and threw them back in? I'm just curious to know what you think, like what is on your mind. Anyway, so yeah, so over here there are the cells, and on the other side of the room basically is gonna be the sheriff and his deputy place of hangout, let's call it. I also gonna include like a poker or card game table, which we all know it's poker game. By the way, have you ever played poker? I played poker. Of course, I never gambled on it, but I did play poker. It's kind of a fun game. I'm really loving it. And yeah, so now I didn't want to use some other aspects of this pack, which are, for example, the winemaking. I only included some bottle wines and some like decorative glass of wines, because again, this is supposed to be like retired house for the sheriff, so the sheriff is no longer, you know, like putting people behind bars, so he can drink if he wants. He probably will drink, because I don't know, I read somewhere that the sheriff job was one heck of a job back then, and probably they did drink a lot, but I didn't want to include the wine making over here. And no, I'm not gonna call it nectar making, that's not nectar. We covered this, by the way, in my previous video where I created a starter winery. If you want to have that one, make sure to go check that video out. I will leave a link for it in the description down below, maybe even the first comment, because that was one of my favorite builds that I created in a long time. And if you missed it, because I know I was a bit quiet for some time, I told you why. I had like a personal life crisis, and I had to deal with that. I'm still in the middle of it, but I'm trying to, you know, back into the game, let's call it, literally go back to the game, like step by step. So yeah, I did create that in my previous video. Go check that out if you want to have a winery that is under 20,000 K. Yes, it's a starter winery. If you want to be, you know, like a big wine company at the end, which, by the way, I do think about creating a big winery factory. What do you think about it, people? Let me know. Do you want me to create a big winery factory where you have a lot of space to step on grapes and create a lot of bottles, or that's just something I want to create? I don't know, let me know in the comment section down below, what do you think? And right now you can see me creating the poker table, which is really cool. I really love it. Now, if you're curious, yes, you can sit on this table, do whatever you want. I do believe that you can even play... No, that's not a table for playing cards. However, you can still sit on it, and yeah, in general, you don't have much things to do in that section over here. That's why I include those that guitar over there and a music box. I think it's called a tiny music box over there. But this is more, let's face it, this is more for the people who want to play the game the old OG way, you know? Put some sims, random sims behind bars. So this is for you, definitely. And on the upper area floor, you're gonna have the living quarters. As I said, you will have a fully functional kitchen. You will have a double bed, which I just mentioned the kitchen, and there you go. You can find it right now. Now I gotta tell you, you know what? Before I continue my sentence, I really love the new how it called? I think they called it ceiling painting mechanism, which is something that, if you don't know, I was one of the first people in the community to actually come with a go around solution for painting ceilings without the use of mods and CC and stuff like that. I was back in the days, and I'm talking back in the days, people, 4 years ago, something like that. I made a video. Let me know if you were here when I published it. I made a video that you can basically place some shelves in different colors and scale them up, place them on the top of the wall, basically covering parts of the ceiling and coloring the ceiling. Something really cool. That was my way of painting ceilings back then. Actually, I do think that video kind of took off at some point and brought many of you over here. So do let me know if you are one of those who came to the channel from that video, because it was one heck of a cool trick back then. Today we don't need it because we can literally paint some ceilings. I do not believe that you can paint the ceiling in any color that you want, but one thing that I do want to do, probably I'm going to do it in the next future, is to show you how to really take advantage of the ceiling painting, because people, you're not supposed to paint all the ceiling with the same color. I'm gonna just drop it over there and leave it. And maybe I will make a video. Let me know if you want me to create a video for like ceiling ideas, something like that. That can be actually something really, really cool. And showing you how to really take advantage of that brand new ceiling painting. Now I gotta tell you that I'm a bit bummed that they didn't include in that update of the ceilings like dropped ceilings. You know what I mean? That you can change the height of the ceilings, where they drop a bit more, where they are a bit higher, something like that. Right now the only way to do it is basically to create like what we called in the professional language of interior design or architecture, it called a loft, which is a double height ceiling. No, I'm not talking about that. I was talking about the ability to just make, just like we have platforms, to have platforms for the ceilings, you know, to drop by 1 centimeters in the game, the ceiling. That would be amazing. I really wonder why they haven't included it into the game. They had a great chance to do that, and I'm a bit bummed that they didn't, but maybe at some point they will do it. Now, we are actually getting closer to the end of this video, but don't run anywhere, because there's still some stuff that I want to discuss with you. One other thing is, I do want to know, what are your thoughts about the brand new pack? Do you enjoy playing with it? Do you enjoy the gameplay of it more? Do you enjoy the building aspect of it? Do you enjoy the free update that they added to the game? Let me know in the comment section down below. What is your favorite thing from that pack? And you know what? What is the next pack that you want to see? Because clearly they're starting to bring to all of us the thing that we asked for years now. It took them time, but they definitely starting to do that. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. So you got yourself a Wild West retired sheriff jailhouse, but you want to be a winer at the end. So check out this starter winery that I created in The Sims with the brand new horseradish pack. And make sure to hit like and subscribe for more builds just like this in the future. And until the next time, keep that inspiring going for me. RGeetect signing off.